tonight we are already in chapter 11. And today we are talking about when Y goes fuzzy. When Y goes fuzzy. We have been focusing in this platform and enlightening ourselves on the importance of knowing your why. And we have established that it is very important to always get your why on any project, small or big. It's going to be looking at what makes why to become fuzzy and how situations look like when the why goes fuzzy, when it becomes difficult for you to perceive your why. When you get confused as to why you are doing the thing you are doing, that's what we are talking about, fuzzy, when why goes fuzzy. You are trying to locate why, and you are not perceiving it. Okay, so we're talking about when why goes fuzzy. And we should be asking ourselves in our present context, even as I was going through, the question that is ringing is, today, many leaders of companies, many leaders of organizations, they focus on what they benefit. They focus on the get out of wherever they will tap. And Walmart, that is the focus that is discussed alongside this particular passage, or this particular chapter that we are dealing with today, has had its focus at the beginning. Walton was working so hard to have success, and he noted that he got used to winning all the times that he couldn't visualize what it meant, what it looked like to lose. And by the time at the time the founder of Walmart, that's Walton Sam, died, he had not handed down. In fact, before he died, one thing was sure: the success of Walmart was already very wide. That's the number of stores were already multiplied. And we should note, our text tells us that it takes more than a competitive nature. It takes more than a strong work ethic. And it takes more than a sense of optimism to be able to build a big company. For people to succeed, and there were some statistics even in our chapter that show that there are about 2.7 million registered businesses in the US, and only 1,000, that's representing about 0.004%, get to be registered in the illustrious list. And the question is, why? Why is it that we have so many businesses, but only very few, measured to about 0.004%, are able to succeed? And the reason is this: because to get there requires more. To get there requires more than having a competitive spirit. To get there requires more than having a strong work ethics. To get there requires more than a sense of optimism. And we should note that Walmart was not the only retail establishment that was offering low prices, because Walmart became big on the wings of low prices. But we are going to be looking at what happened. There is low price and there is low price. What is the objective behind the low price? Price is a highly manipulative bird. In fact, what I want to say is that price is highly effective. It is a very effective manipulation to the public. But there is something, low price alone is not enough to capture people's loyalty. You can drop your prices and have people people will run to you to buy at low prices, but you will not have their loyalty. They have more important things that can keep them buying, even from people who are selling higher than you. So being cheap does not inspire employees. That's one thing we should know. So you can be selling at lower prices, but if you are employees, the people who are serving in that company, if they are not inspired, there is something wrong. So selling cheap does not inspire your employees to give their sweat, to give their blood, to give hearts. So what Walmart gave low prices, but what made it grow was not low prices. That's something that I want us to take note of, because we want to land somewhere. What they did, the reason behind the low price was more than low price alone. Sam Walton had a big that drove him. More than anything else, Walton believed in this, that if he looked after people, people will look after him. If he looked after people, people will look after him. So the more he gave to employees, that is looking after people, his employees, included his customers and the community where he was doing his business. So the more he gave to the employees, gave to the customers, and gave to the community, the employees, customers, and give back to him. That was his belief. So Walton's secret was, we are all working together. This alone is bigger than passing on the savings. It is more than savings. It is more than having those strategies. It is more than work ethics. It is more than whatever we can be basing or having being competing. So one not limited to customer service that we really usually hammer on these days so much. But he was focusing on service itself. He was working on service, serving his customers, serving the community, and serving his employees. Because for any enterprise to succeed, for any project to succeed, it needs employees, it needs the customers, it needs the community. And so he knew that if he is serving these people, he is going to benefit. That was his belief. If he takes care of them, they will take care of him. So Walmart is what now. Let me put it like it is the what that Walton used to serve humanity. Since his purpose, he had his why which was to serve, he now used the what, and his what was Walmart. So he used what to achieve his why, and that what is the Walmart. So what is the problem now? We want to dive into what happened as this Walmart was becoming bigger and bigger. The problem came in when Walton had left, when he had died. Number one problem, the people that he left behind did not capture this vision of serving the people, serving the employees, serving the community, serving the customers. And so when he left, the people who stayed behind focused on how to carry out the business. The why was not captured, and they were focused on how to keep their prices, because anybody looking at Walmart from outside knew that they were succeeding because their prices were low. But it was beyond that. And now these people who did not capture the reason, the why, focused on the how, focused on the what. Walmart remained, and their how remained, but the people lost the why. So there was a shift to how the low price as manipulation and how the low price as service upheld the company. Now the people were on low price as manipulation, and as we mentioned before, low price is an effective manipulation to the people. So these people were perceiving, or the people that are managing Walmart after Walton are working on low price as a manipulation, not low price as a service. The low price has remained, but the why behind the low price has been confused. It has been jeopardized. So consequence is that there is poor treatment of customers. And as a result of poor treatment, Walmart has been scandal-ridden for decades. The company is constantly managing crises resulting from its employees. And the next thing that we want to look at when our why becomes fuzzy, when it goes fuzzy, is we want to make a difference between being successful and feeling successful. Being, feeling. There is a story that is captured in our text of entrepreneurs meeting. Highly successful entrepreneurs that have a practice of meeting. It is a narrative. It's not like it's a fairy tale. It is what is actually happening. Highly successful entrepreneurs that come together to share ideas together. When I read it, I realized they don't come together because they want to show how far, to show off their achievement, but they come with their vulnerabilities. And I read there indicating that there are about even those who indicated to have successfully achieved their goals by 80% did not feel successful. That's, you had your financial objective. You can imagine the trillions or the billions that the people have, but they are not feeling that they are successful. So what's the reality? Business is much more than selling. Business is much more than making money. And they could even feel, they themselves testified that they even look back at how they were, how they felt. And it's like, how do they get back to that feeling they used to have when their companies were much smaller? And when you look into it, you realize that at that time, they knew their why. And they could feel, they could feel success. They could be feeling like successful people. But now that they have gotten to a level where they have pursued the why, the what, and the how, and have gotten to a certain realm, they are feeling so empty because their why has gotten, they have lost perception of why they were first of all doing the business they were doing, or the business they are into. Why were they first of all doing it? They have gotten lost. So the question now is like, what changed? What happened when they transitioned into more successful realm? What happened? And we realized that they gained visibility. They gained their achievement. Achievement is something you can be able to see, where you can be able to measure. But what they lost is now harder for them to identify. They don't really know what is wrong, but they are not feeling like successful people. Other people looking at them are like, you are getting bigger, your company is getting larger, you have even moved house, you have even you have bought many cars, but you have done those things, and then there is a certain feeling of emptiness. You are seeing the things, but the feeling is not there. So they know what has happened is that they knew what they have. As of now, they know exactly what they have done to succeed. In that state of success, in that way they have achieved and reached that realm, they know how they got there. But there is something, they no longer know why. They know exactly what they have done, and they can tell you how you can do it. But they have lost, they don't know exactly again why they were doing what they did. So we see that there is success and there is success. There is one success that is achievement, and then there is success. And we'll be able to, from our lesson, we'll distinguish that there is achievement that comes as a result of your goals that you have set. For example, this year you might have set some goals and you are working on them. And then you achieve the goal. And then you are feeling, there is no feeling of happiness. You are not feeling fulfilled. The reason behind is clear, that you have lost your reason. You have lost your why. You no longer know your why. When you put your why before you, there is no level of that can make you to feel like nothing. I feel like empty, fulfilled, because your why. When you continue asking the question that why this, and it is the reason for your being, it gives you that feeling of satisfaction. So at success, at success, there is what do I want to say? That at achievement, you have, you can achieve your goal and you are wanted, but you are not feeling like you are a successful person. Your achievement, I want to draw our attention to the difference, the clear cut between success and achievement. At achievement, you can be able to see, this is what I wanted. This was my goal. I've had my goal. So that's an achievement. You can be able to measure your achievement this time. Once you reach there, you know it's an achievement. But success is a feeling. Success is a feeling. It is a state of being. Success comes when you are clear about your why. When you can be able to, when you know what you want to achieve, you will now have success. But when you have an achievement and you don't know why, you have not succeeded. So that's what I was really coming to share with us today about how we can become, when our why goes fuzzy, when it becomes the one that you cannot perceive, when it becomes the one that you get lost. And that is why we have to make sure that when we start something, you have started your company, you have started your project, let the why be written. Let the why be written. An appearance of success, but you feel so unsuccessful. Also enjoy your greatness, because there are people who are great in the eyes of others, but they don't feel any greatness because they lost their why. Thank you very much.
My goodness. Thank you for writing this last. Enjoy our guests when we stick with our why. That's in my own words. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was very powerful. You swept the board.
Thank God.
Thank you. Before we take comments, I would like to urge us to keep our comments really short, concise, so that we get this talk. This is from our coach who has closely been following the recordings. She said, we keep our comments short and concise so that we get the stock and not dilute it by talking too much. Secondly, I would like to share one of my takeaways before we continue. And one of them is that I keep seeing throughout as we read is the fact that the author brings real life examples. At the beginning of every chapter, he kickstarts our brains, or he whets our appetite with real life examples. And what has this done to me as a person? It has told me that because I am seeing these people, because these people have either succeeded, he brings them in as failures to paint a picture of where he wants to guide us to. Now, because I see these people, flesh and blood, because they are people I can relate with, because they are business names that I know, they are enterprises that I know, world-class enterprises, because I can also be a person. I can also make a change. I can also have a mind shift. I can also it gives me the opportunity, and it's a unique one because not everybody gets it in time. It's a unique opportunity to be able to shape my why, to be able to breathe better breath. There is breath and there is breath. We all understand, or we all know that there is clean breath and there is tainted or pungent breath. What the writer has done to me as a person throughout this journey, he has caused me to fresh with every chapter. So new, I've had to reshape my why. And like I said last time, by the time we're done with this review, my why would have taken a better shape. Just today, like on day one, just today, I wrote down something very pertinent. Very, very, very pertinent. I thought I had, well, let me just save that for the end. Let me save the comment that we give people time to make uselessly. Like I said, you touched everything, and it is hard at this point. If I did not see this one, I would have been quiet. It is hard at this point to say something. But again, the elephant is so big. We see it from different angles. And at this point, we'll open the mic up to those who have contributions to share or ask questions to Glorious Lady, because I have one. So please, you can turn on your mic and make your contribution. Keep
I
it
have
short.
a contribution.
Thank you, Patience. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for breaking this chapter down so elaborately. I would just like thought about going to a gathering of titans where he met some of these really, really powerful and successful business people. When they asked them how many of them had met their financial goals, 80% put their hands up. And then when they asked them how many of them felt successful, like 80% put their hands down. And upon reading this, it just brought to mind a sermon that I had heard of Joshua Selman. It's titled, so most of these people, they lost their why because they have been compromising and selling their souls. Because most of us think that selling our soul is one transaction that you go and sign somewhere and the devil literally buys your soul from you. But I think that maybe they have lost their way, not just emotionally or intellectually, but they have really, really lost their way, even spiritually, for them to get to this level of success and still feel so empty and void inside. And I remember during my presentation, I said that to me, the limbic brain is really, really your soul, your spirit man, and then the neocortex is, our physical selves. So I just saw that and decided to point it out and to be as brief as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patience. Thank you. Makes a lot of sense. I'll not elaborate on it because you really kept it short, simple, and very deep. Thank you. Anyone else, please? All right. Another thing that I
can say sure.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Thank you, Lady.
Go ahead, say what you want to say, and then I'll just talk a little bit.
Okay. Another thing that I want to say in relation to what I said, it is directly connected before, is that these real life examples that he gives us gives you a sense of belonging. No, I'm taking off from where Patience left in the Gathering of the Titans. When you read and you get a picture of the Gathering of Titans, you want to gather somewhere. It gives you a sense of, if not belonging already, a sense of wanting to belong. Now, you come to the table of wanting to belong, or that you sense of wanting to belong, sense of belong is that shaped. You don't want to come to that kind of room feeling like the people he has painted already, or feeling like the people he has talked about. So it's just that real life. It is for me, it is still just the real life examples, how it is shaping my own perspective, how it is molding me into a different person, and how I want to belong to a gathering of titans. That lack of I don't want to be like that. And so, in Glorious Lady's words, I want to stay close and true to my purpose, my why. Thank you, Lady Love. The mic is yours.
Yeah, just very short. Is that it's a company I've worked for. So when she was saying that if your employees are not good and stuff like that, the company will not really go fast. You have to make sure that the employee, like the employee, are part of the people that you have to really make sure that you get them in order, or you consider, in your company. You consider, because when you consider them, when you have good employees, technically the company is really going to go good. And I kind of smile because I've worked with them. Sam Walton, he has 2 years, Walmart, and he has Sam's Club. So Sam's Club is like more a wholesale, just part of Walmart. So I worked for Sam's Club for a while, and their benefit was just so good. Their benefits are wonderful, and people shop there a lot because of the way they treat their employees. So they take very, very good care of their employees. Why I am saying this is because I have been, like you were just saying, so like that is daily things that you see and stuff like that. I'm like, yes, this one is something that I have personally experienced when I work for them. Even when I left, the amount of money that was given to me, I was like, wow, is that how it goes? It was really good. And there's stores that we still shop there till now. Even though other people that came after them, because normally when you have a business, if you might still do your best and share your why to people, there are people that will come and shift things. It's not as it used to be before, because the people that came after, they shifted from his why, because he was more to the people and stuff. But now the people that came now, like Glorious Lady was explaining, she said it like they care more about themselves now. They don't care about the people like it was before. So sometimes somebody too can really work hard, and some people coming behind, they probably might not follow your footsteps. They might do their own thing, So I just said, let me just throw this little experience that I had there to you guys. So keeping it short. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lady Love. You feel it even closer. It's even closer to having you in the room. Thank you so, so, so much. That is a life experience for this child. Thank you so much. And to go further, I'll take from where you started. They are coming to building a structure, and other people come in. Don't continue from where he left off. I'm sure that if we take time to do our workbook exercises, we'll begin to find out why or how we can manage to keep our structures together even when we're gone. Our coach is coaching us to become transgenerational leaders that will leave impact so much so that we'll cover from our contribution. How is that done? It is done by being committed. It is done by doing the little things that matter. See, I believe and strongly so. We don't apply, just being on this elevation journey. If we don't learn and apply some good practices to our lives, it will affect even our why. This journey is personal. It's not theoretical. That is what Simon Sinek tries to do in this book. He tries to make it personal as much as possible. I pray every time I read, and I ask God for one unique thing to open my eyes to see something different and something new. Today has been about the fact that it is personal. He is drawing us to a personal awakening. Now, what is a personal awakening in our case, or what will be the personal awakening on our journey? The personal awakening is accepting, first of all, that we are on something new. something we've not done before, or maybe we've done it before in different quarters with a different group of people, with a different tag. Elevate is a different journey altogether, ladies. Elevate is a journey of personal revival, intellectual, spiritual, material. It is a transformational journey. How can we get to the end of this journey? How can our purpose resonate to other people when we do the little things that we're supposed to do in our midst for ourselves? We're not walking this journey. We're not doing this journey for Coach D. If it's about coaching, she has got it. She has achieved it. I think, and I'm confident to say that she feels successful. Why does she feel successful? Because we align with her purpose. Do we want to feel successful? We have seen the difference today. Thank you very much, Glorious Lady, for making it clear to us. We've seen the difference between achievement, feeling successful, and being successful. It's our choice to make. The two can go together. We can achieve both, but it's harder one. And I choose to call it the bigger one because that is the biggest achievement. We see that titans will gather and not feel successful. Why? Before we even get into looking at their own why, let's look into our own selves. What will make me feel successful? At the end of this journey, I'll feel successful because I was committed to this journey. I'll feel successful because a huge part of my life would have shifted. Why? Because of my commitment, because of my dedication, because I am following in on the journey step by step, because I'm doing what is required for me to do to get to the top. All of these many words I'm using is to urge us to sit up on our journey. We don't want to come out of this journey and not feel successful. No, ladies. We don't want to come out of this journey and not be able to tell our why. Let's stay on this subject of why, and not be able to communicate our why in a way that people will follow us. We will not be leaders. Leaders have followers. Leaders inspire people to follow them. By this saying that, for example, and a very strong example, if we cannot submit our assignment, I really don't want to put it this way. If we cannot, for example, submit our assignments, if we cannot commit fully to our journey, bringing down every barrier, bringing down every roadblock, bringing down every family, everything that looks like an excuse, to be committed in such a way that we achieve not just the sense of success, but feel successful at the end, then maybe there was no need starting at all. But because we are here, I know that we just needed a gentle reminder to the fact that we really have to align to the principles of this journey. We really have to sit up to doing what we have to do, as challenging as it may be. And I applaud us, very strong-minded, positive, and forward-looking and forward-going ladies, for being on this journey, because, of course, it is not easy. It is not easy to go to work and come back and still sit down to maybe think and listen or read. Maybe we're cultivating new habits. Maybe we're going through very challenging moments and we're still trying to be on. I really and encouraging us to keep on keeping on. Let us keep the flame burning. Let us not let it go out. It cannot go out. We must make it to the end and feel. So I'm very grateful for all of us who are in class today. I don't know if someone still has a contribution to make at this point.
Yes, Lola.
If we are, thank you.
Yes,
Glorious
please,
Lady,
I'm coming back to say that it is possible. I'm using this lesson to just make a call to us. It is possible that at the end of this elevation journey, when we go celebrating that we have come to the end, I entered there, or I come, the celebration of the achievement is taking place, but I am not feeling elevated. I am not feeling satisfied. I am not feeling like something has happened. And it is a call that each and every one of us, including me, should update my reason, update my why. At every, you can always know whether you are successful or not. When you get whatever you have gotten, how do you feel? Are you seeing a reason? There are some people who are really they are detached from their achievements. The achievement is just an achievement, but they are not feeling part because they are not seeing a reason, they are not seeing a why in that